And we are back with part 2 of the American Civil War Hold the Line edition with the first scenario, Battle of Bull Run, or First Bull Run. So far, we've got one Union kill. Everybody else is still alive, but we've got some seriously wounded units here and a pretty badly wounded unit here. The Confederates still have the hill, and the Union troops are trying to take the 2 VP. It is turn 8, and the reinforcements come into the game now. And so we are using AP to bring reinforcements back into the game. Like this is standard move and activate into the game. That's all that they do. And the AP points for the Confederate players bumped up to 5 now versus the Confederate 4. So the favor has swung towards the Union. So let's see what happens here. So we've got turn 8, phase 1, Union side, starting with the base of 4, adding 1, bringing us up to 5. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is try to get these guys off of this VP here. So we're going to roll close combat. That's 3 hits, and those guys are dead. All right, so for our next AP, we will move one of the units. He's a green, so that's probably not so good. I seem to have lost the tracker for this one on the way. I think he was the gold. So he's got the American flag. All right, so we'll move him up to take the temporary victory banner, but he's got to hold it. And so that brings the Union player up to 2 and the Confederate at 1. So that is 3 of the action points that we have to spend, and we have 2 left. And so we will attack these units from here to there. So that is a green unit attacking a blue. We have a standard 3. We're going to use 2 of our action points in order to do that. And so that's 2 because of the close combat. And that is the end of the turn, with the Union player taking another victory, now at 3 of 6 in order to win the game. All right, let's take this off the board. Now it is the Confederate player's turn. 6, so in addition to the 5, he gets an additional 3. So we are going to bring on the Confederate horses with a leader 1, 2, and stop right there. So that's 1 of our action points. Then 2, and 3, we have blocked our line of sight. We probably should have taken the cannon shot first before we did all that. 4, so we're going to fight from here to here with the close combat, which will take it up to 4, 5s, and 6s, only hitting on a 5, so that's 1 more hit. And since that is a hit in close combat, we'll roll a die. It's a black, so he's okay. He's a green, and that's okay. And 6, and we got 2 more left. And we're going to move this way. That is the end. Turn 8, moving up to turn 9. So we're at 6 for here. You can see me counting on my fingers. 6. All right. So the Union player here will attack the Confederate player here on the second victory point objective with the close combat, which we use 2 of those. And that is 2 hits. And we have to take a roll. Color die. He is a black. He's yellow, so he's okay. And so he will take 2 hits that stand. All right, now the horses will attack the units on the hill. And so that's typically 3 dice to be adjacent, but it's -1 for being on the hill. So instead of hitting on 5s and 6s, we will hit on 6s only. That is 1 hit, and that's enough to kill him. And that brings the Union player up to 4 VP right now. So that's 4 used, and we have 2 left. The Union player. Oh. Fire. Against the hill here. Against the Confederates on the hill. So that will be 3 dice hits on 5s and 6s. Usually we use the second one for close combat, bringing it to +1. So 5s and 6s, excluding the hill. Nothing. And that is the end of the turn. And I'm going to check something real quick on the +3 on the cavalry to see if he can advance up the hill. Okay, so if a unit is eliminated or forced to retreat, we can advance. So we will advance to the hill here. And we've got the leader with him too. All right, so now it's the Confederate player's turn. And probably advancing up the hill with the cavalry standing right there wasn't probably a good idea. So let's see. We're going to do artillery. And we're going to use close combat. So typically a 4, 5, or 6. And for the fact that it's in the adjacent hex, it's going to take it up to 4 dice. All right, so we got to look at the hill and see what. Well, I don't see anything about hill-to-hill combat, but it only makes sense to me to not take a deduction if both units are on top of the hill. So we will be rolling 4 dice against the horse guys. And hitting on a 4, 5, or 6. Wow, that was really lucky for those cavalry. All right, so that was 2 for the close combat. And nothing came out of that. So now we have 6 left. The Confederates here will do a close combat against the unit and the VP space. 1 hit. He is still alive. And he must do a morale check now. Black. Oh, that is him. So he has to retreat out of that hex, and so he loses that VP. He has to retreat back to his baseline there. And let's see. We are doing the Union player. The Union player will attack the hill from here, using close combat for. I'm sorry, this is Confederate player's turn. So Confederate player will be attacking the weakened Union player here with the close combat. 4, 5, or 6. And that's 2 hits, and so he's out of the game. The leader is with him. He can retreat up to 3 hexes back, so he'll go this way for now. 1 to 3 hexes, I believe. And now the Union player, obviously the Confederate player, will shoot his artillery from here to the weakened infantry there, hitting on 5s. So 5, 6, 4, 5, 6, 5, 6. So 5-6 from there, but let me double check that. At range 2 is 5 and 6. So 1 hit, and that's enough to kill him. So the game has changed pretty quickly. A lot of deaths now. A lot of interesting things happening. Confederate player wants to bring in this guy, but everybody's in his way. So we're going to move this guy out of the way. And then move this guy on. And that will be all of our AP. Now we're up to turn 10. The Union player is in some serious trouble here. So 1, 2. Three, 4. Take back the victory point here. That's there's one more left, and we'll bring up guns firing to here. So typically hitting on a 5 or a 6, so he'll be hitting on a 4, 5, or 6, usually -1 for the hill, but +1 die for being in the adjacent hex, so 5 and 6. 1 hit. These guys have been pretty tough. Alright, I think that's it for the Union player. And then 1 for the Confederate player. Alright, using 2 for close combat from here to here. Nothing. Alright. The Confederate player will shoot from here to here. Standard 5 or 6. 1, 2 hits. So 2 morale checks. Nothing. Nothing. And the Confederate player will now take his artillery and shoot here and hit on a 4, 5, or 6. And that's 1 hit. Moving. That's pretty much it. All right, going back to turn 11. So that's 3. So 7 total. So we're going to try to move this guy and vacate that hex if he can. So that is using 2 for close combat. One hit, not enough. He passes his morale check. So he's okay. And this guy will move there. This guy will move here. Oops, that's a Confederate guy. This guy will move here. This guy will move here. This guy will move down here. All right, that's it for the Union. 1. So that's 6. So here to here, using 2. Hit on a 4, 5, or 6. Now in the advanced rules, you're able to do a morale check for close combat. And if you fail the morale check, you only get to do a standard attack. But here we're going to do a 1. Just 1 more there. Oh, and that's enough to kill him. No, I'm sorry, here to here. So that's 1. Alright, so that was close combat, so I have to do a morale check. Nothing. And artillery here, 5 or 6. 1 hit. That's enough to move him from the game. So that is Union player is at 3 victory points. The Confederates are at 4. And they are holding the objectives. All right, turn 12. Seven points. Union player. 1, 2. Attacking here. Hitting on 5s and 6s using a close combat. 3 hits. Four to 4. Alright, he may advance up the hill. What can the Union player do? It's 5 and 6. I should have 7. So move him up 1. All right, Confederate player. Let's see, 6. So here to here, close combat, using 2. Nothing. Here to here, hits on 6s. Nothing. Confederate reinforcement horses will attack. But they're not adjacent to this guys. They'll come down and attack these guys. So that's 4. Attacking from here to here, close combat. And that will be all of our. So that's 5s and 6s. Let's see, 5, 6, 4, 5, 6. And that is 3 hits. That's enough to kill him. And that is game. So I hope you enjoyed watching the game. It was really fun to play, and actually played very well solo. I did have a hard time keeping track of my APs and all that stuff like that, but that's just a thing. I feel like I played it fairly well, and I hope you enjoyed it, and thanks for watching.